brainstorm flight, and you can put anything that you can think of that has to do with flight.
Critical thinking.
We got 2 people said gravity, that's awesome.
Problem solving. Creativity. And communication.
Oh, we need 2 of these.
These are just some of the skills which has elevated students in Weslaco Independent School District's vision for the last several years.
All right, what else?
Last time we made the plan.
But even before WISD adapted into this vision,
Okay.
the school district already had a model similar to what the whole child experiences today.
And this will go here.
Developed in the 1990s, KWES program is a model which serves students who are gifted and talented at the elementary level.
You're going to find a program to serve gifted and talented students in any of the public school systems in the Valley, but in Weslaco, ours is KWES, and we believe it's unique in how we're serving. I know that KWES, the title, is unique to Weslaco.
1, 2, and...
KWES program was developed by members of WISD, spearheaded by then Assistant Superintendent Dr. Janice Wiley. It is based on the school-wide enrichment model created by Dr. Joseph Renzulli and Dr. Sally Rice, both well-known and respected gifted and talented experts who teach at the University of Connecticut. KWES stands for questioning, understanding, exploring, searching, and thinking. The program is aligned to Weslaco ISD's vision of addressing the needs of the whole child and 21st century learners.
Yay.
However, according to WISD Assistant Superintendent Sue Peterson, one of the program goals is to allow each KWES student to find and develop their individual strengths and use these strengths in project-based learning activities.
And in that class, they do special projects that are geared for students who are in the Gifted and Talented program. Lots of exploring, problem solving, puzzles, but high-level puzzles, creating projects, all kinds of things that kind of enrich the learning that they're getting in the classrooms with their general education teachers.
In order for a student to join KWES, the pupil needs to be nominated by either themselves, a teacher, staff member, parent, or even a community member at the beginning of the school year to take the required assessments. According to Peterson, in order to qualify for the district's Gifted and Talented program, the student must score above average on the majority of assessments administered. Once the student qualifies, that's where the fun begins.
They know the basics. They know how to read. They know how to do math. So we get more advanced in everything we do. We go into big depth. We do a lot of science. We do a lot of experiments. We do a lot of math. That they know how to do the basic math, so now we apply the math. We do a lot of applying to real-world experiences they might have in the future, and a lot of searching for things they might be interested in doing later on in life. It's really not doing much, right?
Maybe I'll put it back to look.
But if we put it this way, it goes where?
Go forward.
In the district plan, KWES class is in session for 1 hour, 3 times a week, and are taught by some of Weslaco ISD's finest and award-winning teachers. Each KWES instructor is given the green light to develop whatever curriculum they feel will challenge the students and build their knowledge.
They get to do hands-on stuff. They're in charge of their learning a little bit more than they can be in a bigger class with over 20 kids. They design their experiments. They'll work the experiment the way they think it should be worked. And then we talk about it, and sometimes their design is not all that good, but then we learn from that. Making a mistake is not a bad thing. And we get to learn that in the KWES program because we don't have grades. Making a mistake is not a bad thing in KWES because you're not graded on it.
What does an environmental engineer do?
Solve problems.
So an environmental engineer solves problems having to do with the environment.
As a KWES student, each one of them must embrace research and experimenting.
Clean, polluted, and contaminated water, and here we
Take Mrs. Hollis' second grade class at Kleckler-Held Elementary.
Ew, and there's stuff floating around in there too.
Throughout the year, her students have learned about the environment and engineering. Here they put the two together in an environmental engineering project after reading the book, Saving Salila's Turtle, about a little girl who rescued a turtle from a polluted river and developed a plan to clean the river, which benefited all the people.
Go ahead and pour.
Mrs. Hollis preached the importance of clean water in our environment, and the students got to see firsthand exactly why.
Oh.
They made and tested water filtration devices to see which one will clean polluted water most effectively.
Oh my God.
I learned today that we could use different stuff that we find at our house or in different stores to clean water and save the animals and the environment.
Basically, it drives forward and then it comes back.
But that's just one example of how things are directed in KWES program. You have settings like in both Mr. Nelson's and Mrs. Buttermer's class where robotic experiments are popular along with Scratch and NXT using animation and technology programming.
So let's just stick what we have.
Sure, try that.
Through the naked eye, it's easy to see why these students embrace the challenge of taking the course.
There you go. Wonderful, Noah.
As right now, you see we're doing robotics. So that's why this is my favorite project, the robotics. Because it spreads out creativity and helps your mind think much more than it does on writing a piece of paper, because it modifies it to diving in, just having fun.
I love being in KWES because it lets me express my creativity, and you get to do so many things and so many activities that Miss Buttermer always has planned, and she never fails to make us use our brain and let us have fun.
How about the work from two students in Mr. Nelson's KWES class? Fifth graders Alec Marquez and Melany Villarreal designed a charging station from the SketchUp program for the robots they build. The two students entered their piece of work into an internal school competition where they earned top prize. But perhaps the biggest honor was seeing their creativity come to life with the shelf actually being built by a carpenter.
It felt really nice to have something that you designed in somewhere where people could see it. It felt cool because I made it, I designed it, and they have the job to actually build it.
Okay, so let's go over this really quick. That way we can get started.
Since the innovation of KWES 2 decades ago, many gifted and talented students have passed through our school district.
So what's one characteristic that we have there regarding protestas?
A lot of them are now professionals, and there's even a few who've come back to our school district, like Jennifer Medellin, to share their skills and experience to today's students.
Well, Jose, start reading where it says they can be animal-like.
Medellin was a former KWES student at Airport Elementary, where she was taught by Mr. Nelson.
And it was just something I would always look forward to because it was something that we were going to do something hands-on. And I remember when I was in fourth grade when we started the robotics program. And so I still remember that, and I see how that evolved from when I was there until what it is now. And it's just something that I've always taken with me through college, and even now as a teacher, I like to incorporate a lot of those hands-on activities and those critical thinking skills that I learned through the KWES program.
Our teachers too have come across many wonderful stories of former students who once sat in their classroom.
I've come across some students, yes, that are benefiting from the program. They went on to higher education and pursuing different degrees, and they still remember coming to KWES and learning from that.
I just run into a lot of students who say, oh, it really meant a lot to me. Some kids have said, you know what, KWES is the reason I come to school. Of course it's not. They'd be here anyway. But in their mind, that's what gets them fired up about coming to school.
Looking at the big picture, the ultimate goal is not only offer gifted and talented instruction to KWES students, but all of Weslaco ISD students. The district's vision, in addition to 21st century learning, is to connect the two together in each and every classroom. We've just learned what KWES program is and what it means to our great district. Our children are engaging some valuable learning and elevating their skills that will be hard to find anywhere else.
In Weslaco, we believe that having a person such as the KWES teacher dedicated to our gifted and talented students, they serve as a resource for those students, they serve as a resource for their peers on their campus, and the students that are served in the KWES program are being their needs as a gifted and talented student are being addressed. So we believe that in Weslaco, We have a unique model of service for our Quest, for our gifted and talented students in the Quest program, and we're very proud of our Quest program.
It's higher level of 21st century thinking, and people have different strengths and different things that they're good at and they're advanced at. So I think everybody has the talent to get into the Quest program.
For KWES TV, I'm Mike Gonzalez.